Now I can be like Steve McQueen. Alright, I'm super sick and got sicker, can hardly breathe, and I was inside thinking, man, I'm just so sick, I can't hardly do anything. So I turned on YouTube and I was like, I'm just gonna sit in here the rest of the day, and I started watching SCCA racing from back in the day. These guys just winding out 289s and 302s and racing them, and I was like, I'm going outside, man. So I'm out here super sick, feel like crap. I'm under this sausage pony about to do the flywheel. Everything's rusted, and this board I put down has ruined, and it's actually gotten mold on it because the car's been sitting here now for like 2-3 months in the same spot. But I'm about to swap the flywheel out and then put the new clutch and everything on and get it ready for that transmission. So I'm gonna do that real quick and get back. The flywheel is in, torqued to spec, 85 foot-pounds. So now I'm gonna use that orbital sander, like a DA, dual action sander, and I'm gonna sand this thing with it. It's really hard to talk onto the car. But I'm gonna sand that real quick. Pressure plate is installed. I sanded the flywheel, sprayed it with brake clean, just installed these. The internet said 35 foot-pounds, so that's what I did. 35 foot-pounds on those bolts. Now I'm gonna remove this and put the bell housing on. So once the bell housing's on, I could probably bolt this header back up. And I gotta fill these holes in too. And then remove this shifter, because our 4-speed will go there. But okay, on to the bell housing. I had all kinds of plans. I was gonna buy some silver paint or aluminum, paint this aluminum or silver, make it look nice and clean. And then I was gonna paint the transmission. Probably, I was gonna do like a kind of a blue. It originally looks like it was blue, but I was gonna do like a dark blue or like something like that. But I'm bolting this in as is. It's going in. When I get a lift, I can get this car up in the air and redo all this stuff later. But for now, this rusted out Mustang is gonna get this crusty 4-speed bell housing. I put the new throwout bearing on. There's the old one. And I crawled all the way under there, and I noticed there was a dowel pin stuck in here from the engine. So I was there getting a torch to remove it, to heat the aluminum up to help me get the pin out. And I noticed it looked like someone had put a nut on the aluminum for the starter mount. So I looked, and the threads are almost gone. So I just ran a tap down them, and these threads are messed up. But I cleaned them up as best I can. I'm gonna use extra long bolts, put them through, and then put nuts on it like this previous guy did. So I guess that's one bad thing about having an aluminum bell housing. Wham! It's in. It does bother me that I didn't paint it. Like, part of me is like, Jim, you should have just painted that. But then another part of me is like, I've crawled under this car already today, in and out like 12 times. And I'm really ready to get this car moved, because you can't tell where I'm at. But that's a road that's pretty busy. So people drive past this thing all the time. And I'm afraid someone's gonna eventually report it and report me. Because I'm actually, yeah, see, I'm in the county like location, but it's kind of like, it's a weird place, man. There's like all residential around me. So I'd like to get this car moving, running and driving so it can at least move around. But anyway, Later in life, I will own a lift. So this is me manifesting it. I will own a 2-post or 4-post lift, and I can take all this stuff out when I do this car better or harvest this engine transmission for something else. But for now, it went in here crusty, and this car is rusty. So rusty and crusty, it fits. It does have new washers though. New washers and some new bolts, some old bolts. But there it is. I do have that linkage that goes up there and then to this. So the Z-bar and all that crap. Now I gotta get done. You can see my pup is right there. Zerdog. She's like, dude, what are you doing talking to me? But, okay. I don't know what to do next, so I'm gonna crawl out from under this. So bad news. I just tried to stick the drive shaft that was under the car that was hooked up to the C4. I tried to see if the yoke that went into the back of the C4 transmission, if that yoke would slide into the top loader. It didn't. The top loader is actually much smaller diameter, which is strange. You'd think that the 4-speed would be much larger, heavier duty, or at least the same size, not smaller. So what I think I'm gonna do, even though the 4-speed needs a top cover, I've been going back and forth. Do I rebuild it? Do I order parts for it? I think what I'm gonna do is inspect it, and if it looks good, I'm gonna buy a new top cover, put oil in it, gear oil, run it. Just run it as is. This car, it looks like it doesn't have a title. So I'm in Florida. Everyone says register in Alabama, but I don't live in Alabama, and I don't know any friends that live in Alabama that could register it. And for Florida, they want you to go to court, and it sounds like a hassle. I don't know, but I want to drive it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the top loader, I'm actually going to go install it and then measure to the rear axle and then write that down and then uninstall it and then order those parts for the top, and then I can also pick up my drive shaft. Hopefully they should be done at the same time. Then put the 4-speed and the drive shaft back in, and we should be ready to roll. We still have drums on the front and 4-lug. So I brushed up against my truck with dirty sleeves. But so that's what I'm gonna do, is get that stuff swapped under the car, and hopefully I have enough daylight. So I'm not gonna record that process, putting it in, taking it out, or put it in, measuring, taking it all out. I'm just gonna get it done, get the measurement done, get it out of the way, and keep the ball rolling, progress, and everything like that. So, wham! Can't get it in. Can't get the transmission in on the ground. I'm in my driveway, on my back, laying in wet cat litter, screaming, trying to get that transmission in. And I can't get it. Rust is falling in my mouth. I can't see what I'm doing. The jack's in the way. I'm out of breath. I need a 2-post lift so bad. I know I said it before, but I mean, I'm at like rob a bank level. I'm so mad, getting mad at the car. I want to strap myself into it and drive it into the ocean and just die in the car. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at. Well, long story short, I can't get the transmission in. It is just so difficult to do it on your back, laying in wet cat litter, trying to get it up. And luckily or unluckily, I'm not sure yet, it fell and missed my head. So, but it did fall out and landed and then rolled over, so it was upside down, so that part was facing the ground, fell out of the car. And then I had to drag it out and put it on this and roll it back here. But yeah, man, I know a lot of people work on jack stands, and I do, that's all I do, but that's not how you do it. It is just not, doesn't work out that well. But all right, well, I'm bringing this inside. Another day.
Okay, this is a really horrible angle, but gotta work with what I got. So, like I was talking about earlier about this top plate. So it's $20, $19.99, great price, but the guy on his website has $37 shipping. Unreal. And he's the only person out there that sells a reproduction 4-speed top loader top cover. So, I mean, I don't know if he's shipping it in a giant box or one of those flat rate things, but anyway, I don't have the extra funds for this car, especially this car. There's so many other things that I need to build. Like I told my wife, I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing working on this car. Like, this thing is trash. And like my Fairlane, I just told someone to stop by and I was telling them that car's done. The Roush charged Fairlane, it's been done. It needs a tune, but the tune is $1,200. $1,200. So therefore I haven't done it, but then I buy the parts like this for this junker. But anyway, so here's our cover. Look at that. This costs $40 to ship. It's the size smaller than a piece of paper. So what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna buy one. I'm just going to take a piece of flat steel and make this. And since it is indented, like it would come up, I think I'll make it and then cut another one and then create that, like stack them, but cut the center out of the second one so then it's just ultra thick and pushes the other piece up, if that makes sense. But here, I'll show you the inside of this transmission so we can look at it together. All right, well, I mean, it is questionable. Should this get rebuilt? Probably. Is it going to get rebuilt? Probably not. See what happens if I spin this? Oh God. It won't. That's about all I get. I got an idea. All right, I stuck this disc on it. Oh, this is actually a good representation. For people that don't know how a manual transmission actually works, this is actually a really good diagram. So that pressure plate you saw me bolt to the flywheel, that's the pressure plate right there. So a flywheel, this is bolted to your engine, will sit like that. And your pressure plate basically is the same surface, roughly, on the other side. And there it's bolted to this and it's spring loaded. So when your clutch is out, it pushes these together. So when your flywheel spins, it spins this. And then when you push your clutch in, it gets a nice pressure release. So they're not touching. So your engine may be spinning right here, but there's no pressure, so it doesn't spin this. So that's not engaged. But why I put it on here is for leverage. Oh, it's easy. Oh man, I think it's good. I think I'll spray it with brake clean and then put all new Lucas 80W90 in it and roll it with it. I don't know what that is, a piece of rust. Oh, I can't get it. Okay, we're golden. Let's go make that cover. Okay, so this is, I believe, 11 gauge. This is actually some pretty decent stuff. It's, I think it gets down to the thickest stuff that would be considered like sheet metal. Any thicker, I think it would turn into plate, like a plate steel. But it's pretty good. This is actually very thin, this cover. Very thin, but it gets its structural integrity from all the bends that it has. You can't see because it's really grimy, but it has a lot of bends, lips, and ridges, which gives it strength. That's why floor pans, if you ever look at floor pans, they have ribs in them, And because if you put a flat piece of steel in it, bows, it can move, it can flop, and even heat like a frying pan. When you put it in your oven, boom, you hear it pop. But if you put ribs and stuff, it adds strength. That's why tin roofs are called like corrugated. They have all those bumps. But anyway, this new one will not have that. It's just gonna be thick steel that is flat. So we're just gonna trace it. And I mean, if this was for the K code, I would spend the extra money and buy that cover. But this is for the sausage pony. The sausage pony, man. I mean, I don't even know what else to say, guys. Look at the videos. It's not nice. You know, I was thinking, I saw a video, a guy was like, we spend all this money and we work on all of our cars only for other dudes to walk up and be impressed and talk to us. We all say, man, I've got this cool car. Chicks are gonna dig it. No chicks, man. You put 100 chicks in a parking lot and you roll up in your cool car, you might get one chick that says something. All the other ones are gonna be like, he's compensating. So I just finished grinding it and wire wheeling it. It actually is not all that bad. So the inside is doubled up for thickness, and since it's not much of a raised lip, but since that one down there was originally raised up, I figured a little extra clearance wouldn't hurt. But there it is. The welds aren't great. They look like doo-doo, but oh well. There it is though. I'm gonna paint it and bolt it on. From that to that. Lowe's paint, $2. Everyone go buy this paint. Keep them in business. Oh man, I didn't shake it enough. Dude, that sprays like crap. Yep, paint is ice cold. That's why we're painting in the shop. It's supposed to have warm conditions when you paint, but bored with what we got. We just need this to not rust through like that last one. I'm not even actually looking at it in real life. I'm looking at it through my phone. I'm actually doing a pretty good job. Look at that. There I am. Oh my God. All right, I cleaned this surface and did RTV gasket maker. So got it on there pretty good. Now I'm about to put this plate on. I did have to cut this front piece so it fits, so I had to clamp it in the vise. Ruined my paint job, but yep, I'm gonna bolt that baby on. It's all on. Torque. Oh, I didn't torque them by hand tightened them pretty good. So I don't hear anything hitting. I think we're good. Spin's really free. So I'm gonna put this in the car now. And I looked that up, that's a 25 spline. So a C4 is a 28 spline. And I read that the yoke that I was talking about, the drive shaft that goes in, so later they actually switched these to 28 splines. So this is an early top loader, but not early enough that it's that weird close pattern up front. So this is like an in-between year. I think the car that it came in that car, and that is a January, I think it was a January of 65. I think it might have been a 64 and a half. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the tag. But yeah, it was originally to that car. So now it's going in this car, Sausage Pony. So here I go. All right, so I filmed everything, making that top cover and pulling that trans out like 4 days ago, maybe 5 now. But this is the 3rd day. I've been trying to get this transmission in for 3 days. So I don't know. I thought I was just gonna throw it in, but I'll film it. It is ultra hard underneath this car. I don't know. Everything's aligned to the clutch and the pilot bearing. I used a clutch alignment tool, so it's straight on, but I cannot get it to go the rest of the way. So I'm gonna try to muscle it up. I tried doing it with a floor jack, and it's just not working. So here it goes. So first, there's no room under this car. Ow! Hit my head on everything, and it's so heavy. It's just ridiculously heavy. I need a lift so bad. That hurts a lot. All right, get in my car. Just go in your home. You want to be here. Oh, I can't hold it. Why? I mean, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I can't. Oh, fuck, I'm spilling my head. I need a lift, and I need friends. It's crushing my hand, I can't move. I can't get this trans in. There's no room under the car. And I have no business working on stuff anymore. I don't know. I tried it again with the jack and I got it here. So I've had it here 2 or 3 times already, and no matter what I do, I cannot get it further than that. It will not go further than that. So, I don't know. Alright, so I got it in, kind of. So, I did what you're never supposed to do, and I lined it up. I got it so that I could fit the bolts in, and I used the bolts to get it in, because I could not push it. So you're never supposed to do that, because if it doesn't slide in on its own, something's usually binding. But I'm tired of rolling in cat litter. So I did it, man. And I got it in, and then I had some issues. My dog's going nuts. But I had some issues with the... I gotta go check out what she's barking at. Alright, so I was having some problems with the cross member here. These bolts here were at such a severe angle like this, and the cross member was all tweaked. So I was like, what in the world? It's like the engine can't go down. The engine was sitting pushed because this header, oh, I moved it now. It was smashing the header up against the engine, so the engine couldn't move. So that messed this up, but now it fits. So I got new bolts for it, as you can see. Grade 8. I just gotta get them in all the way. But it's totally dark out here, so it's getting dark quick. But the big news is it's in, and I hope that it works. So I am going to finish this up. Alright, I think I'm gonna put the shifter in here. So it's pretty gummed up. You can see it's real dirty. So I'm just gonna wire wheel this thing and then put some grease. It does move though. I'm trying to do it one-handed. You can see it does move. So I'm just gonna wire wheel that. Bazinga! I have a 4-speed Mustang. All that suffering was worth it. Well, it doesn't work yet, so knock on wood. But, yep, here we go. Alright, it is completely dark outside. So, I don't even know if these bolts fit. Okay, they do. Alright. Oh, shit! Don't cuss. Man, in the end it'll be worth it, but man, was this an absolute struggle. It's just mainly the darkness. Everything is harder in the dark. Okay, where's my stuff at? I think this was supposed to have special bolts on it to prevent it from, I don't know. I've never done this before. My dog is going nuts all night. Alright, hurry, Jim. Dude, I have a 4-speed. I can't believe it. Now I've had a 4-speed, a 5-speed, and a 6-speed. And I do own a 3-speed manual, but it's not in anything yet. Let's see, we're gonna... Ow. Ow. Turn this back, maybe. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but... Why is it not getting tight now? All right, that seems pretty decent. Second, third, fourth, neutral, and then I wonder, I don't even know. Is that reverse? Dude, it's pretty gummy, which, I mean, we did know the transmission was just tore up. Ow, my ankles. All right, and I've got bolts for this, but I'm gonna grab washers. So, now I can be like Steve McQueen. All right, guys, that's a wrap for the 4-speed swap for this week. It's actually totally overdue. I missed my normal upload time, but that's a wrap for this. I need a drive shaft and put gear oil in the transmission and the axle, because a long time ago when I took the axle out of that car, I had it sitting on the ground right behind it, and it was leaning and all the fluid came out. So it probably means the seals are bad anyway on the sides where the axle is. But that being said, I just know it needs fluid, so I'm gonna add it. And that's about as much as I'll do for a while. But drive shaft and fluid. And what else? Oh, bleed brakes. I need to bleed brakes. And get a title. And wheels. I have no wheels. Jesus, I thought someone was in here with me. But, okay, so there's actually a lot of stuff. Dang it. But, alright guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Bye.